Hi, I'm just sitting out in the garden, being out in nature because the sun is back out, and I'm using the crystal mandala deck, and I just thought I'd give the cards a shuffle and see what message that there is for us. Oh, there we go, one's flown out. I was just on Facebook because I'm just doing some videos to see where people see them the most, because I want them to reach as many as possible so that it spreads as much light as possible. So the card that just flew out the packs on the floor, I'll go and get it in a minute, I just want to say something, is that so much light has been coming in, the planet's ascending, that means more light's coming in, that means that the real darkness that has existed for so long is also has to move up, it has to vibrate higher, it cannot survive in that amount of light, in that frequency. So it's not to say that all darkness will be gone, it won't, but the real nasty stuff, control, power, shame, murder, all of that horrible stuff, that to the depths that it's happening cannot exist anymore. So that's why it's all coming out to everybody in media. Not much mainstream goes on apart from the fear that they put with the virus, and protests. But anyway, all this darkness is coming to light now. People are having personally to deal with their own shadows. So lies and things like that are coming back to haunt people. Concerns, worries, anxieties, all these things are coming to the surface for us to deal with, because more light, more frequency, a high vibration is coming into our being. So we're shifting. So I can feel it physically. I mean, I'm super sensitive, always have been. Seen spirits since I was little. I have the ability to do mediumship. I'm a healer primarily. I use crystals, sound, whatever. That's my passion and my path. So I'm really sensitive. So my husband over the last couple of days has been saying, I don't feel great, and we're not talking about the virus, let's not go there. It's a feeling of being dizzy, it's a feeling of being exhausted, it's a feeling, it's not anxiety, it's not as full on as anxiety, although people that do suffer with anxiety are struggling at the moment. It is a feeling of feeling nauseous. He's he's sitting up the garden going trying to tell me that he feels not like that's that nausea feeling. And I said to him last night, yeah, I've been feeling absolutely shattered for the past couple of weeks. I started feeling it a couple of weeks ago. I had my energy was fine before that, and you can feel it physically. And I said to him last night, it's like I don't like roller coasters and stuff anyway, but it's like being on a roller coaster, isn't it? And you sort of feel that fluttery feeling, a bit like, oh, you know how you feel when you get off a roller coaster. And he said, yeah, it's like that. So that is the light, the vibration, the frequency affecting your physical body. You're feeling it. People are feeling it. It's incredible. Anyhow, for me, was it 2 nights ago? I'm sorry, I'll talk to you with my sunglasses off, but I'm really sensitive to the light, funny enough. Where was I? Yeah, a few days ago, I was really tearful. I mean, I've been going up and down anyway because I've been grieving my dad. But a couple of days ago, I was really tearful. I thought it was just one of those days, And then the next day, I felt so happy. It was like a shift had happened, and I was getting phone calls, messages from people over the few days before that, saying that they'd not liked or commented on any of my posts or anything, but they contacted me saying, I get it, I understand, I understand there's more going on, etc. So with that, I've seen so much more high profile cases coming up, nasty things, that shadow governments, all that sort of thing, sort of coming to light, and as into the fore to other people's eyes. And then last night, I was talking to my husband, and I started to feel, I felt my soul before. I know what that feels like. If I can explain, it's like imagining someone or something you love so much that feeling in your heart overtakes your entire being, your entire body, and that's what it's like to feel your soul. So last night I felt my soul come forward and be more prominent than my physical body. I was like, whoa, this is incredible. Last night I dream anyway. I have crazy dreams sometimes. They're like films. But throughout this whole lockdown, I've not had any of these I've not had any visitation dreams from my dad, but we've been connecting in a day-to-day basis anyway. This is the first dream I've had that I've woken up and been like, oh my gosh. And I was dreaming that, I was seeing and feeling, and I mean, I've known about it, the connectedness between everybody, but I saw it and I felt it at such a deep level. And it was the interweb of everything connecting. It was amazing. So I woke up this morning and then John said, I feel better this morning. I was like, energies are shifting, then you're going to go up and down. It's like a roller coaster. And I don't know, a couple of hours ago, he went, oh, I'm feeling funny again. And I said, no, it's absolutely fine. I said, I can actually now feel, much like I felt my soul sort of coming forward yesterday and feeling that on a more tangible level. I can feel, this is so hard to explain, but there are different planes of existence. There just are. And, if you can do mediumship or connect with spirit, that's another plane of existence you're connecting with. But most people do it like a claircognizance, so just knowing that the information they're getting or thinking is right. A clairsentience, feeling, sensing, it's clairaudience. There's all sorts of ways of connecting. But this is like, it's really difficult to explain, but it's like I can feel a tangibly another plane of existence intermingling with ours. That's what I can feel. So, I mean, I'm very spiritual normal anyway. That's the way I live my life. It's who I am. But things have stepped up a notch. And I want to know who's feeling it. I really do. I'm just going to pick up my the card that flew out. Here we go. Right, so what's come out? Ascended Master Kuan Yin and Pearl. Divine Rebel. So that's the card that came out. I don't know if you can see that clearly. Hang on a second, because it's telling me that my camera would be better if it was cleaner. Not really, you can see me more clearly. Anyway, that is the card that came out. Divine Rebel. Beautiful. So let's have a look at what that means. Well, I know what it means, but let's read the meaning, because the meanings of Alana Fairchild, she's amazing. And I need water. Right, here we go. So, we bring you the blessing of the Divine Rebel. Divine rebels shake things up, create a divine disturbance, and refuse to play by the rules. Sounds like me. They do this because they love divine love. They know there is nothing as powerful as the unconditional love of the divine. I'm just going to stop really quickly, because just before this video, I had a message backwards and forwards with like another light worker, another healer. And, we talk amongst ourselves about how if people are waking up, how they're waking up, how we're feeling about it, what can people do. And I said, I think it's as simple as this. I think it's as simple as starting to move your energy towards your heart. And I've done that in YouTube videos that you can have a look at. There's grounding, protection, clearing, connection to the divine. It's really easy. And this is how simple this is. I'm just going to do it really quickly. Is that you take a few deep breaths. And start to calm down your mind. And then you get your hand and you place it over your heart. And each breath that you then start to take, you start to focus on your heart instead. Simply, that's where your hand's placed. And then you start to focus on the love that's in your heart. And you can step this up a bit by imagining someone or something you love so much, so deeply, that all you can do when you think about it or them is smile and feel the warmth inside. And continue with the breathing. And that's it, you're sitting in your heart space. That's how, oh God, it's bright. That's how easy that is. It's so unbelievably easy. So, if you live within your truth, in your heart, and you are connected to the divine. It's really important. But you can often find that connection through there, but there's easy steps that you can follow over on YouTube. I'll put this video on there anyway. And that's it. Living from the heart and being connected. I think that's the way we can get through this. This ascension's happening whether we like it or not. But you're going to get through it a damn sight easier and quicker if you get connected to yourself and start to deal with your shadows, because you're going to have to. They're being thrown up. They would have been thrown up already. So let's get back to this. They know there is nothing as powerful as the unconditional love of the divine. It will have its way in the world, in the hearts of all living beings. It will not be tamed, controlled, restricted, or denied. If there is a rule that gets in the way of that love, then the divine rebel will find another way, so that love can have its way. The divine rebel in you is not meant to do things the way others say you should. Some people may become frustrated with you because they won't know why you have to stand up and speak your truth. That's okay. Divine rebels are not always understood, but they are respected by those who are ready to make love more important than fear, and who are willing to contribute constructively towards healing the world. That's amazing, and that goes along with another thing I keep saying, is that speak your truth, not mine. Speak your truth, and be respectful of other people's truth. If you don't agree with it, scroll on. You can always question as well, because that's how we learn, isn't it? But be kind to each other. Oh, my battery's going to go and I can no longer see this video. I'm going to keep with the message rather than what I've got to tell you. The divine rebel does things that break stereotypes wide open. They dance when they are supposed to be sitting still. They argue when they are supposed to be quiet. They are serene when they are meant to be enraged, and they get angry when they are supposed to be calm. This is natural for a rebel. They are not trying to be different for the sake of it. They just go against the grain and don't play to type, because this is how they were divinely designed. Part of your life purpose as a divine rebel is to show others there is always another way. That the conditions the mind places on the world about how things should be done can and should be challenged. When the oracle of divine rebel comes to you, you are being acknowledged as one of those ones who are different and who are here to stir up loving truths in your own particular way. Maybe you are the black sheep of the family, so to speak, and don't necessarily fit in completely to any one social group. Maybe you seem to be just like everyone else on the surface, but underneath you think differently. Maybe you worry that sometimes you're even a bit weird. Or perhaps you know you're a divine eccentric, and you're perfectly comfortable with that. You may even celebrate it. I now do. No matter whether your divinely rebellious nature is subtle or obvious, you are something of an outsider. You belong here, and you have a divine family, but it is made up of unique, creative and unusual beings like yourself, rather than necessarily being limited to your biological family. There will be times when you want someone to laugh with, who gets you and who respects you for who you are, loves you as you are, and doesn't want you to change for any reason. The people best able to do this are other rebels at heart. Rebels are free spirits who don't need to control others or be controlled to feel safe. They know that life is crazy, mysterious, beautiful and uncontrollable, and that we can either hide in the fear from the magnificent wild creation or show up, jump on it and go for a ride we'll never forget. You are guided to seek out and play with other divine fringe dwellers. Go to interesting events. If you have a passion, interest or hobby, go and meet like-minded people. Don't hold yourself back from connection based on pain and of being misunderstood or rejected in the past. Those people just weren't your soul tribe. That's okay. There will be people who are looking for you, who need you just as much as you are looking for them and need them. The divine will take care of it. You just need to be willing to put yourself out there and be open to meeting people. You'll know when you've met the right people. You'll recognise them as your soul brothers and sisters. Together you can support each other as you refuse to fall in line with the mainstream groupthink that holds so many trapped in fear, uncertainty and ignorance of their own divine nature. Instead, you'll stir things up, create a loving fuss and refuse to be told you cannot do what makes your soul come alive. If you try to clip your wings on your wild streak to join the real world, you'll feel as though you are abandoning yourself. You may want to fit in, to feel connected to the world, yet all you'll end up feeling in relationship with others who do not love and accept you for who you are is very alone. The real world that such people live in is not so real after all. And love that asks you to conform in order to be loved is not so loving either. There is far more for you to receive as you allow your divine rebel nature to emerge and guide you towards those free spirits like yourself, who perhaps also don't quite fit in with the mainstream. Then you can enjoy the creative sparks and fun that happens when you share your insights, wisdom and creativity with each other. If you are concerned because you don't seem to have many role models, haven't found a soul tribe, wonder if you are quite possibly the weirdest person on the planet, or question whether or not you are actually meant to be living on another planet altogether, take heed. The Oracle of Divine Rebel comes to you with a message that even though you are not walking on a treadmill in a straight line, you are doing beautifully whilst dancing in spirals. You will attract your divine soul tribe and find your way to belong here. You are meant to be here. There are no mistakes in the universe. As you relax, love and accept yourself more each day, the universe will take care of the rest. I can't see my phone. I'm just going to try and turn up the lighting on it. Oh no, it's still recording, is it? Yeah, it's still recording. I'm just going to keep going. Right, I'm going to say an invocation now. I just want you to close your eyes. Be mindful. Actually, don't. Put your hand over your heart and be heartful. I call upon the crystal angel of Pearl and Ascended Master Kuan Yin who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing blessing of divine rebellion. I ask through your grace that I may always remember I am free to choose my own path, that I can respect tradition without being bound to it, that I can honour the freedom of others to choose fear whilst I choose love, and that sometimes the only way to get through life is to dance in chunky boots and kick open the cages that will confine my soul. May I always have the courage to live as I see true, and inspire those ready to leave the system behind, and to realise that yes, there is another and freer way to be. May I be blessed with many divinely rebellious and loving soulmates on my path. May we play together, breaking rules with wisdom and compassion, so love can more easily reach into the hearts and minds of all beings. Through divine compassion and my own free will, so be it. I just want you to take a look at that image and breathe it into the solar plexus area, which is just above your abdominal area. Just take a look at that and breathe in and out. I choose of my own free will through this and any lifetime, and through all layers of my entire being, to give up any pain about not fitting in, being different, challenging authority, or being ostracised and punished by society for my free-spirited nature. I choose gratitude for the freedom of sometimes being a fringe dweller in life. I have enough strength to engage with the world, sharing my wisdom and love, without being seduced or consumed by the fear others may hold in their hearts. I choose to attract loving consciousness into my life and unconditional support as I choose my own path in this lifetime. Through divine grace and unconditional love, so be it. Now just place your hands into prayer position. May the rebel heart in all beings be free to love life and live truth, according to divine compassion and in service to the great divine plan of love unfolding, so be it. I'm just going to say this affirmation a few times. Either just absorb the words or you can repeat them after me. I honour the divine rebel within. I give myself permission to live my truths in the world with wisdom, compassion and boldness. I honour the divine rebel within. I give myself permission to live my truths in the world with wisdom, compassion and boldness. I honour the divine rebel within. I give myself permission to live my truths in the world with wisdom, compassion and boldness. These cards are always spot on. She's brilliant. You should get yourself a deck. Crystal Mandala Oracle, Alana Fairchild. She's got other decks as well. She's absolutely brilliant. But connect to your heart, connect to the divine. Go ahead and check out my videos and you can see how to do it. And share these videos if you feel that you can, because I want them to get the message to get to as many people as need to hear it. I suppose that will happen anyway, but it won't unless you share it. Anyway, lots of love to you all. Start speaking your truths, and life's going to get better. Lots of love. Take care. Bye.